This is an updated video on how to re-zero an appliance. The older version that I do have uploaded does work. I find that this new way not only is quicker, but it tends to hold on to the screw a lot better. So these are the steps that you will need to do. Similar to the first step in the other video, you will have to roughen up the surface in between just so the acrylic sticks. So nice and rough all the way on the inside. Now, what is different from before is I am going to mix the acrylic outside of the appliance and then apply it onto it. So you'll take a dish, I like this silicone one. You're going to pour in a bit of acrylic, of the polymer. And then you are going to add some of the monomer, and you actually want this to be a bit soupy. The soupier it is, the more you can work with it. So this looks pretty soupy, but I'm actually going to add just a bit more. Give it a mix, and you should have a consistency like this, where it just kind of falls off. You will take the appliance and start scooping the acrylic into the space. And you really want to get it around the screw, but not over the holes. You definitely want to get where the screw meets the acrylic and just kind of paint it in. You're going to do that to one side first, go all the way around. When you first start doing this, it can be pretty messy, but after a while, you'll get the hang of it. So once you have one side finished, you're going to flip it around. Do the same thing on the back side. Just filling it into the crevice. Now already I can tell my acrylic is getting a lot harder, so you try to work with it while it's nice and gooey. And don't worry how it looks, we'll polish it up after. But if you can see, the acrylic sits all the way around the screw. Kind of locks it into place. Nice thing about this method is once it does start getting tacky, you can form it a bit more with your fingers, which will just save in shaving it down later. So that is one side complete. It traps the ridges of the screw, it holds on to the arms of the screw, and it gives a bit more space for the patient to expand. So one side is finished. What you can do is just scoop out the old acrylic. We're going to repeat the same exact steps for the other side. So pour in a bit of the polymer, pour in the monomer, give it a good mix. Nice and soupy. And we'll repeat the same exact steps. Just scooping out the acrylic and placing it between the screw. So this is a little too runny. I'm going to add a bit more polymer. And a touch more monomer. And it's okay if the acrylic touches the other side. We can shave that out later. You just really want to make sure you're getting it into the screw. But again, I'm avoiding the hole, which will just make it easier for you to scoop out later. And once I have all of the acrylic in the space, I'm going to run it under hot water for about 5 minutes until it all sets and cures. But this is what it looks like before we cure it. So the hole is still open, but the screw itself is nice and covered. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and soak it under hot water, and then I will show you how to finish.